A reading from the Acts of the Apostles. In those days, King Herod laid hands on some members of the church to harm them. He had James, the brother of John, killed by the sword. And when he saw that this was pleasing to the Jews, he proceeded to arrest Peter also. It was the feast of unleavened bread. He had him taken into custody and put in prison under the guard of 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. He intended to bring him before the people after Passover. Peter thus was being kept in prison. But the prayer by the church was fervently being made on his behalf to God. And on the very night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter, secured in double chains, was sleeping between 2 soldiers, while outside the door, guards were keeping watch on the prison. Suddenly, the angel of the Lord stood by him, and a light shone in the cell. The angel tapped Peter on the side and awakened him by saying, "Get up quickly." The chains fell from his wrists. Then he said, "Put on your belt and sandals." He did so. Then he said to him, "Put on your cloak and follow me." So he followed him out, not realizing that what was happening through the angel was real. He thought he was seeing a vision. They passed the first guard, then the second. They came to the iron gate leading out to the city, which opened for them by itself. They emerged and made their way down an alley, and suddenly the angel left him. Then Peter recovered his senses and said, "Now I know for certain that the Lord sent his angel and rescued me from the hand of Herod and from all that the Jewish people were expecting." The word of the Lord. So this is the scripture that I read in today's Mass for the Solemnity of Saints Peter and Paul, apostles. In my reading of it, I tried to capture first the shock Peter must have felt as he woke up out of a sleep and saw the angel of God standing next to him, and then giving him orders and telling him what to do. You know, you're kind of in a fog when you first wake up. He must have been confused and in shock, and the chains fall off and they're making it past the guards, and before you know it, he's at the gate. It opens by itself, and then he's down. The angel leads him down an alley, and then this angel's gone, just like that, as quickly as he came. So he must have been in shock. And then when he kind of settles in, he's relieved and he's overjoyed, overwhelmed with this feeling of joy and victory, because he was probably going to be put to death. Herod had him in prison. Herod was keeping him for, a big public spectacle. When he saw that the Jews were really, loving the fact that he was killing apostles, he was going to die. And so he was saved from certain death. And I think that end of that scripture, he has that feeling that you get when you dodge death. Not that I ever have, but if you miss it in a car accident and you make it through, that feeling of, oh, not today. You didn't get me today. And I think he's relishing that, as well as being thankful to God for the save. So that's what I went through when I was thinking about when I was preparing to read the scripture. But I also today wanted to explore the question with you, since we have a scripture where an angel appears. Do you believe in angels? So I'm interested. Tell me, do you believe in angels? Answer in the comments, yes or no, and tell me a little bit about why. I can tell you I certainly do. And one of the experiences I had with angels, which I had a dream years ago, and a big powerful angel came to me in that dream. And he was beautiful to behold, but terrible to behold, because he was very powerful. He was dressed in a very heavy gray, what I would describe as like a thick, heavy warm-up suit, kind of. And it was sashed, it was loose, but sashed at his waist with a gold belt. And he was wearing kind of heavy gold shoes, boots. And he had this heavy iron cross around his shoulders and neck. And at the end of it was a heavy cross or crucifix. And he kept waving it back and forth to me like that. He didn't say anything to me, but he just kept waving that crucifix back and forth. And then after a couple of minutes walked away. When I thought the next day, like, what was that about? I think he was asking me to pray for him. So I did for the next couple of days. And 2 days after I had the dream, the Persian Gulf War started, the first Persian Gulf War. And I thought, wow, I think that was a warrior angel, because he was big. He was like 7 or 8 feet tall, big. And I think he was asking me for prayers because he was about to go into the spiritual battle that would accompany the physical battle of the first Persian Gulf War. So I hope my prayers helped him. And I just wanted to share that story with you guys, and hope you have a very blessed day.